What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Of course, I am your host, Brandon Blakeney, aka Brandon Lee TV. And you know, as always, I got another banger for you. So kick back, relax, and come take a ride with me.
You are now locked into the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Here is your host, Brandon Blakeney.
The Chicago Sky took all of the attention away from the WNBA playoffs and damn near broke the internet when they made the major, shocking announcement to let go of head coach Teresa Weatherspoon after just one season, y'all. They can't teaspoon a WNBA legend who had the backing of this locker room, who has helped develop Angel Reese, one of their best players, who has managed the egos the best she could in year one, who felt like a perfect fit to not only develop the talent on this young roster, but also maintain all the egos in the locker room. But I digress. The Chicago Sky had different motives in mind, and they get rid of her in year one. Wow. And I tell you what, I think this franchise has been questionable in the past. You know, we've seen the facilities run players off, run down. They finally got a new one. We've seen players dip out of there, though. The toxic culture. Didn't Marina Mabry know something that we didn't before she decided to demand that trade to the Connecticut Sun? Like, did we know? Did she know? Did she see the writing on the wall? We know Dana Evans also was another player, a veteran that demanded a trade. Kalia Copper got out of there. Candace Parker got out of there. Like, all these players jumped ship. Was there some writing on the wall that we didn't know about? I do know one thing. These players are very upset about their coach being let go, especially Angel Reese, the most popular player of this team, the face of this franchise, honestly. Not best player, but face of the franchise, to say the least. Had a very emotional message after she heard the news. Reese said, quote, "I'm heartbroken. I'm literally lost for words, knowing what this woman meant to me in such a pivotal point in my life. She was the only person that believed in me, the one that trusted me. Many don't even know what it's like to be a black woman in sports when nobody believes in you. You had a tough job, all the crazy circumstances that we went through this year, and when your back was against the wall, you always believed. I came to Chicago because of you, capitalized. You were an unsung hero in my life. We built a relationship in a short amount of time that will last forever. I'll never question God why he brings people in my life and takes them away from me in the capacity that I need them. But I've always believed everyone is in your life for a reason and a season. You were the best reason and season. You didn't deserve this, but I can't thank you enough. I love you, Teaspoon." Emotional, man. And we're talking about Angel Reese, who is one of the most criticized athletes in sports, period, especially on the women's side. A national champion, a high school state champion, has won, has exceeded, has overachieved at every level. And to have a coach, like she said, as a black woman who is also a black woman, to have your back and understands your struggles and the pain and the trauma that you're carrying is major. It's invaluable. You can't put a price on that. And just the belief. There were people that thought Angel Reese wouldn't even make the Chicago Sky roster, people. Not only did she make the roster, but she carved out a significant role. She was a starter. She made the All-Star team as a rookie. Led the league in rebounding for a time. Set the record for double-doubles. Like, just continuously exceeded the bar and absolutely deserves her flowers. She took all the criticism, all the blame, and played the villain when she had to, and still came out shining like a phoenix, in my opinion, in this rookie year. And there's a lot more coming. And, I mean, Camila Cardoso is still there, who I think is a great talent. Their main priority definitely needs to be re-signing Kennedy Carter. You cannot let her go. But for the most part, man, this team really overachieved this season, in my opinion. They had a basically entirely new roster. Nobody knew what to expect. They were picked to finish at the bottom of the WNBA, like towards the bottom. Nobody believed in this group. There's nobody, probably even at LSU, that thought Angel Reese was going to have the impact that she did. There were a lot on the shoulders of this rookie. They battled locker room tension. They battled media. They battled trolls. They battled all types of ups and downs. It was a roller coaster, and for most of the season, they were locked into that 8th place before they folded due to injuries. Man, their big three missed the last couple of games, so it was expected. But for them not to bring back Teaspoon after 1 year is just insanity to me. I think it was too soon to pull the plug, and I think she was one of the bright young coaches in this league that understood players. Now, I will say Camilla didn't really get developed. The development of talent was in question. I will agree to that. I will say that. Angel Reese got better, I will say, but did players actually on this roster get better? Did Isabella Harrison get better? Or did they just make the most of their opportunities when they got more minutes? The development of talent is crucial. But I think with 2 first-round draft picks in this draft, this team is definitely a potential playoff team next year. They're going to be better next year. This rookie class, if they do what they need to do to bring back Harrison, to bring back Carter, to keep this core together, they add some youth, some more youth, some talented, some firepower, some three-point shooting, some point guard play in the draft. Man, the sky's the limit for this guy, no pun intended. But to not give Teaspoon a fair crack at this thing, I think is ridiculous. If you're bringing Christy Sods back, I understand she made the playoffs, but she was very questionable throughout the year. I think you got to bring Teaspoon back. I also get, though, if you are going to start over and pull the plug at some point, it should be before the draft. I do get that aspect of things. It's a business, but the decision just didn't make sense to me personally. I think you got to give it more time. I think this roster, you got a chance. You got young, impressionable players, especially a lot of young, impressionable black women that just lost their coach and possibly a mother figure or a big sister figure to them. So you got a potential problem where you could lose this locker room. Young talent, you want to keep that in tight, you want to reel it in, and you need a leader that can. You can't just bring anybody to coach the Chicago Sky right now. You got to they got some dogs out there. You got to bring somebody with a strong voice, strong leadership that understands the game and that has been the places that these ladies have been, so she can coach them in an adequate way. But as far as what's next for the Sky, definitely re-signing Kennedy Carter, re-signing Harrison, like keeping this core together and hitting 2 home runs in the draft. We know the chances of them getting the number 1 pick, they could get it, but they're not keeping it. We know they got the swap with Dallas, but they got a chance to hit 2 home runs in the draft regardless. They just got to make their picks wisely. But Teaspoon out. Y'all let me know in the comments how y'all feel about this decision. Was it right? Was it wrong? Should she still be there? Are you mad that she's gone? Holler at me in the comments. Let me know, and make sure to hit that subscribe button to stay up with all the latest and the greatest. Of course, I'm your host, Brandon Blakeney. Follow us on social media at Brandon Lee TV. And make sure to hit that subscribe button to stay up with the latest and the greatest with the Live for Brandon Blakeney podcast. Until next time, we out.